You ever wonder what happens after the votes are all counted and the people have spoken? Well, today we're looking at a perfect case study out of Greeley, Colorado. It's got everything: a huge controversial project, a citizen revolt, and then a government committee. Now, on the surface, that sounds pretty good, right? But what if that committee is actually a brilliant piece of political strategy? Let's get into it.
So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at the fight that started it all. Then the city's official reaction, and we'll really unpack the hidden political benefits of that move. After that, we'll see how this isn't the first time they've used this playbook, and we'll wrap up by asking a big question. Is this real teamwork or just a clever way to control the opposition?
All right, so the story kicks off in West Greeley. The city had this incredibly ambitious development plan, but, well, it didn't take long for that plan to hit a brick wall of public resistance.
People just felt like they were being completely ignored, so they got organized fast. This quote here from a Reddit user, it just nails the feeling, you know? They weren't asking for the world. They just wanted a vote on a massive project that was happening in their backyard.
And we're not talking about a new coffee shop here. This was a massive $1.1 billion project. Water park, hotel, arena, the whole shebang. The real flashpoint, though, the thing that got the group Greeley Demands Better so fired up, was how the city planned to pay for it. See, they used this financial tool, certificates of participation, which is basically a fancy way to take on debt without asking you, the voters, for direct permission. And the collateral for that debt? Get this, 46 city-owned buildings, including City Hall and the police station. Yeah, they were on the line.
So this led to a pretty epic showdown. The council pushes through the zoning in May, but by summer, residents had already gathered enough signatures to force the city's hand. And when that special election happened in February 2026, the voters didn't mince words. They repealed the ordinance and stopped the project cold.
Okay, so you're the city council, you're Mayor Dale Hall, and you've just been handed a major defeat at the ballot box. What's your next move? Well, this is where things get really interesting.
The official word from the mayor was all about listening. He came out and said, we hear you. The message was clear. The city's next step was going to be collaborative, all about bringing residents into the process.
And voila, the West Greeley Citizens Oversight Committee was born. On paper, this looks like a textbook example of good government, right? A 9-member group of citizens tasked with digging into the details and giving advice to the city council. Now, pay very close attention to this next part, because it is absolutely the key to the entire strategy. The committee wasn't given forever to do its work. It was given a very specific 6-month term. And that little detail, that 6-month window, changes everything.
This really brings us to the heart of the matter. Beyond just being transparent, what did the mayor and the city council actually gain politically by creating this temporary committee?
Let's be real. When a government body takes a big hit like that, their next move is almost never just about transparency. There's always a political calculation happening. So what was it here?
Okay, that 6-month timeline, it's kind of a masterstroke. First, it creates a cooling off period. All that public anger from the election, it has 6 months to just fade. Second, it lets the city control the narrative. City staff are the ones providing the data, which gives them a golden opportunity to re-educate the committee members on the project's supposed benefits. Third, and this is huge, it shifts the political risk. If this committee comes back with a new plan, it's now a citizen-led idea. The council can just say they're following the will of the people. And finally, a 6-month commitment is a lot of work. It tends to filter out casual protesters and brings the most dedicated activists inside the system, a classic political strategy called co-optation. It's pretty brilliant, actually.
And what's really fascinating is this isn't the first time Greeley's leadership has pulled a move like this. They have a bit of a history of using process-heavy solutions to manage politically tricky situations.
Just look at the pattern here. A few years back with the Terry Ranch Water Project, people were worried about water safety. The city's response? A long, complicated process of technical testing. Now with the Catalyst Project, the worry is financial risk. The response? A citizen oversight committee. In both cases, you have a vocal opposition group that gets funneled into a long, bureaucratic process that turns a political fight into a technical one.
And check this out. While everyone's attention is focused on this new committee, other things are happening in the background. A council member who had issues with the project ended up resigning. Now, instead of holding a special election, which could be risky, the council just appointed a replacement, a perfect chance to solidify their majority while the public's eyes were elsewhere.
So, what does this all boil down to?
Is this committee a genuine attempt to build consensus with the community, or is it just a really clever way to manage dissent?
The honest answer is, it's probably both. I mean, it absolutely is a forum where residents can speak up and get involved, but you can't ignore that it's also an incredibly effective political tool. It lets the council absorb all that grassroots energy, neutralize the opposition, and basically try to rebrand a project that voters already shot down once.
And by making this an official City of Greeley committee, the council pulls off a critical narrative shift. The story that lost them the election, the one about closed-door deals, gets replaced with a much friendlier one, a story about a transparent review being led by the citizens themselves.
And that really is the question this whole thing leaves us with. It shows how the very mechanisms designed for public participation can also be used as a shield for politicians. It makes you wonder, where do you draw the line between genuinely listening to people and just managing them? It's something to think about.